Martin Johnson is a pass master in that line-out area. And number 22, Patrano, coming on here.
And that looks like a replacement for Dominici, who injured his knee in the lazy leg tackle.
So Brusque is going to stay at fullback, and Patrano at the moment is on the left wing. France conceding just 3 points during Dominici's sin binning. Set up again by Aranordiki. Such a focal point in the Welsh forward pack. And the French have been careful, where possible, to kick the ball into the crowd, because England's keen to have a quick line-out throw. You can only do that if it's with the same ball and hasn't been touched by anyone else.
Well, all across Asia, expats of all different countries, but particularly English and French, watching this game will be riveted. Neither side has yet put their stamp on it. 1 point separates them well into the first half, and it's been a real brawl for the ball.
Jolting defence from England to dislodge that ball from the French number 8. This is Phil Vickery. All 125 kilograms of him. So we're closing on half-time in the 35th minute. Rain still sheeting down. And there, that 8-man shove again from the French as Delalio surges ahead. No one wants it for England. There was no scrum half there. Some alert work from Richard Hill.
Good scrapping behind the play as well.
Referee spotted some offside. It was Betson again who flew out of the blocks. England have the advantage, but they're wanting to try and take advantage here themselves. Here's Greenwood. Through the tackle of Ibanez. That's Woodman. And there's the drive by Ibanez.
Slowing it down. Leave it. No, slowing it down.
Well, England building to 6 or 7 phases. They weren't really getting across the advantage line. They're taking the ball too deep. And the French, that allows the French defence to move up and tackle them behind the advantage line.
It's 38 metres out from the French goal line. This is a huge arm wrestle at Telstra Stadium, with the winner to face Australia in 6 days' time in the Rugby World Cup final.
So much more possession for Johnny Wilkinson than Michalak.
Kay managed to tattle that one down as Cat takes on Michalak. Back! Clean through! England with their chance. Richard Hill to Dawson. Inside ball for Woodman. It went backwards. France back in possession. And it's Quattrano, who is an acting fullback there, clearing a very dangerous situation.
Well, England starting to build now, starting to lift. Neil back, spotted a gap, looked up. The French defence had spread out, and Georgian makes a last-ditch tackle. And then Trevor Woodman gets hammered by Manier. Turnover, but the English still on attack.
Martin Johnson positions himself beautifully.
And again, that man can be pulled down because there's only one Frenchman, and it's like a tackle. He's pulling the man with the ball to ground, so long as he's not, they don't form a maul before it. Now the scraps on for the ball.
So it's at the back. It's Ben Kay. They were waiting for him. Aranordiki. England must hold on here. Wilkinson, another right foot drop kick. He's second of the match, and it's England in the lead.
How good is Johnny Wilkinson? Off the right boot. He's a left-footed kicker. That's his second field goal off his right foot and puts England ahead.
Sheer opportunism. They got close. Why not take the points and start again? That's the way to get your near stalling scoreline ticking over, and applauded by all on the bench.
His mentor and boss at Newcastle, Rob Andrew, is here in the crowd this evening. He's the man who sent Australia packing at the '95 World Cup in the quarter-final with that last-minute drop goal.
Interesting to see also Gordon through the week. Rob Andrews spent about an hour and a half with Johnny Wilkinson when he arrived from England, and he said, just don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Poitrenaud following. And note the positioning there of Wilkinson. He turned his body so he was facing the goal line and allowing no chance of the ball to be lost forward.
Can we ever forget Yanni De Beer kicking 5 in Paris against England to knock them out? And Johnny Wilkinson today now has an opportunity to go somewhere close. Called it out, Mark. You don't have to be stable on the ground as you used to in the old days. In the air's okay, but you must ask for the fair catch.
Brusque then is playing on the left wing. Poitrenaud has gone to fullback. But those two have been alternating. Munya couldn't hold on, Vickery could. Picked up by Johnson. He was so powerful there. Dawson took it ahead, and back is now at scrum half.
And that's what England are very good at. Keeping the ball close, keeping it tight. Delalio, then Johnson.
Paddy O'Brien talking there, and Matt Dawson pointing to a big gash in his head.
It's an opportune time for Wilkinson to set his radar for the goalposts. Injury time in the second half, some stitching required for Matt Dawson. It's France. It's France trailing now by 2, but shortly it could be 5. Wilkinson about 15 metres off centre.
Well, even though he's about 42 metres out, there's a fairly stiff breeze now into his face, and this is a long kick for Wilkinson.
He pulled up short from a little further out, another 6 or 7 metres. So this is one that could even hit the crossbar. Distance not a problem. He makes it look easy, and what a telling strike on the half-time whistle as England claws their way to a 5-point lead in what has been a war of attrition here at Telstra Stadium.
Teams are back on the field. Second half is looming. 5 points the margin at half-time. It's going to be thrilling. There's Jason Robinson. Not had very much of the ball, but the conditions, guys, have been atrocious.
Yeah,
really.
You just hope that the game opens up. You know, the French have got so much talent and flair, and you just hope they get a chance to express it.
Okay, we'll be joining our commentators in Sydney, Gordon Bray, Chris Handy and Tim Horan.
Aaron Adoke could not hold on, and it's England immediately in possession. And one telling statistic is that they have dominated at the breakdown.
52 ruck and maul wins to England, 15 to France.
This is a very nasty one for Poitrenaud. But you won't see a better take than that under heavy pressure, and they counter. Josion almost to halfway.
It was a clean, clear tackle. He has to release the ball. And Josion, I think maybe his lack of experience, he was never going to beat the two players for pace. But this man, Poitrenaud, who came on for Dominici when he went off injured, There's a touch of class. It's a shame it can't be advanced.
Well, Jason Robinson, number 14 there for England, did well staying on his feet, getting his hands on the ball. And here we see Martin Johnson taking the option for Johnny Wilkinson to go for 3 points. It's a long way out, but he hit the last one sweetly.
This would take his personal tally and England's total to 15.
Quick reminder coming up on Premiership Saturday on ESPN. It's Southampton versus Chelsea. It's on Saturday the 22nd, 22:25 p.m. Hong Kong time.
England team, if successful in this game, will receive a £500,000 bonus for the squad. Distance is problem here, and also the accuracy.
Well, England will still be happy with that. They're still down in the French territory, and I'm sure Clive Woodward would have instructed his team to stay there at half-time. But England are just happy to chip away for a win.
Clive Woodward not worried about the style of England's performance, as Delalio is brought down by Betson on halfway. He says, we're not Torval and Dean. We're not here for marks out of 10. We're here to win a game of rugby, and they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment, leading 12-7. Here's Wilkinson. That one's gone a little too far. Poitrenaud again. He's a class act, this young fullback, coming on as a replacement, and that could prove to be a blessing for France. He really does like to generate things from the last line. Michalak's kick. Excellent skill from Dawson, and now Lucy looking for the far touchline. But that one veering back infield. And Josian, good pressure there from the hooker, Steve Thompson.
Well, England winning that kicking duel, and they're still down in the French's half. It's important now. Look for Johnson. Do they go short in the line out, or do they go long? Look at Johnson getting his side in, calming them down, going through the call. What are we going to do? Do we stay on our feet and roll them all?
Absolutely. In these conditions, you'd do that and take Wilkinson closer. Realistically, you wouldn't chance the ball in the hands of the backs at this stage. You'd get some more dominance and then release it.
Not straight.
Not straight. Scrum blue.
Desperately trying to get ball from the line out. They're not doing it that way. Delalio not having one of his better games.
Also, Steve Thompson being put under pressure. Going long in the line out in these conditions is not a good idea.
Aranordiki for Galtier, but it's just scrambling resistance from the French.
That's a massive kick. Nicolas Bruce, 5 metres behind his 22, and he finds touch 10 metres inside the English territory. French win the line out.
Michalak. This is Josian. Johnny Wilkinson underneath.
Off the stick, come up. Off your feet. You must be up. You're off your feet.
Mike Catt penalised, handling the ball on the ground. Now Michalak. He's going to have a shot at goal, as Mike Catt went down to his knees there and went on with it. Michalak lining up. It's England by 5 at Telstra Stadium. Johnny Wilkinson kicked one from an identical spot just before half-time. These are the kicks that lift aside a couple of notches. When there's 5 points deficit, this puts you right back in contact, in the face of your opponent. He had the distance, but Michalak misses with his third shot, so he has 1 from 4. there's an unforced error from Manya, of all people. He just lost that ball going straight down through the breadbasket.